perpendicular and angle bisectors. Alright, if you got a line segment and it's intersected by another line or another segment, and those two form a 90-degree angle, and if PM splits AB in half, meaning A to M is congruent to M to B, then PM is a perpendicular bisector of AB. And any point on PM is equal distance to A and B. So if you had this picture, and 3n minus 1, 5n minus 7. How would you solve for n? Very good. 3n minus 1 equals 5n minus 7. Because these two pieces are going to be congruent. So, first step, Carlos, to solve for n. Very good. Subtract 3n from each side. So, negative 1 equals 2n minus 7. What next, Jessica? Danielle? Good. Add 7 to each side. 6 equals 2n. And then, Andrew? Very good. Divide by 2. So 3 would equal n. And if you were asked to find AP, then AP would equal, Trevor? 8. Very good. Well, look, A to P is equal to 3 times n minus 1. And n is 3, so 3 times 3 minus 1 is 8. So make sure you read the problem. Make sure you know if you're solving for n or if you're finding the length of the side. Yes, ma'am. Plug it in to find the length. Bad picture. We're going to go with it anyway. So if that's 90 and these two are congruent, then BD, what's its relationship to AC? It's a perpendicular bisector, isn't it? Perpendicular bisector. And if this piece, if BA was 4x and BC was 6x minus 10, then solve for x. 4x equals
6x minus 10.
Very good. 6x minus 10. Autumn, what would you do first to solve for x? Subtract 6x. Very good. So negative 2x would equal negative 10. Divide by negative 2. Good. And x would equal 5. So BC would equal 6 times 5 minus 10. 6 times 5 is 30. Minus 10 is 20. Very good.
Mr. Holson, that could we also use 4 times 5?
Yeah, 4 times 5 is 20 as well. Any questions there? Okay, write this down and look at the bottom of page 310. Distance from a point to a line. The distance from a point to a line is the length of a perpendicular segment joining the two. So, got a line, point. If you wanted to measure the distance from the point to the line, you would measure it here, wouldn't you? You would measure it there, wouldn't you? And you would want that angle to be 90 degrees. Okay? So when you're dealing with how far a point is from a line, you want to use a segment that's perpendicular to the line. Okay? So now look at the top of page 311. Angle bisector theorem. Alright, if you've got an angle and you've got a segment that splits the angle into two congruent angles. Alright, so QS would be an angle bisector, wouldn't it? P and R. Yes?
Is there a reason why, like, when you do the angles that are right next to each other, why you don't like just make it one? Or you just not make another?
No, it doesn't mean anything else. I just, if I had an angle and that bisected, I don't know. I guess I just want to make sure that you know that it's one symbol for that side and another symbol for that side.
I do it in the book too,
Do they? Is it offset in the book?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, if these two angles are congruent, then SQ is an angle bisector. Okay? And any point on SQ is equal distance from QP and QR. So anywhere you go along this angle bisector, you're going to be the same distance from either side of this angle. So when you put this in and this in, those are going to intersect at how many degrees? 90, good. And what do you know about those two pieces? They're congruent. Yes, ma'am.
If we know that that's an angle bisector, but those two lines don't have a congruent thing, can we still say that they're congruent? Will they always be?
Yes, you can, as long as there's a 90-degree angle here. If the congruent symbols are there and the 90-degree angle isn't, then you can put it there.
But one of them has to be there for it to be.
The only thing that really has to be there is this. Well, that tells you that it's an angle bisector. So any point on this line is going to be the same distance from PQ as it is from QR. Now, I don't know if this would happen in this section, but if you had a point here and that did that, say you had this picture, and this was X and M O. Is XO congruent to XM?
No.
Why not? Because this segment isn't perpendicular to this side, is it? Okay, therefore they're not congruent. Now, if that was, then those are. And if oh shoot, yeah, undo. That's why I'm pushing it. One more. All right. So if that's there, and you're told that they are the same distance, and you're asked for this angle, what would it be?
90 degrees.
Yeah, and this one would be 90. Okay? So you could get a question today like 6x plus 3 and 4x plus 9. And how would you solve for x?
6x plus 3 equals 4x.
And how would you solve for x, Kylie? Right here, subtract 4x from each side. Good. And then what, Chandler? Subtract 3. Good. So 2x would equal 6. And then, Tori?
Divide by 2.
Very good. Divide by 2. And x would equal 3. And if that was, let's say this is an M, N, and O, then MO would equal Shahid?
21.
And why does it equal 21, Jaron? Because 4 times 3 plus 9 equals 21. Very good. All right, take a look at the lesson check on 312. Good. What's the relationship? What's the relationship between BD and AC, Robert? Relationship between BD and AC.
One's congruent and one's not.
They are, Trevor? Perpendicular bisectors. Good. We've only been talking about it for 20 minutes. Okay? Andrew, if AD is 15, what's AB? Very good. Katie, if DC is 18, what's BC? Very good. Is point E the same distance from D as it is from B? Katie says yes. Mr. Holstenbeck says, why, Katie? Because E, or E, sits on the perpendicular bisector. Yes, you were. Of AB. E is the same distance from D as it is from B, isn't it? Because it sits on the perpendicular bisector AC. What about point F? Is it the same distance to D as it is from B?
Yes.
Yes, because it sits on that perpendicular bisector. Anything on that perpendicular bisector is the same distance from D as it is from B. Okay? Any questions? All right, your assignment for today is page 312, 6 through 18. Be sure to check your answers in the back of the book. Be sure to check Edline for homework. Yeah, I know, I gotta kill it, right?